Hi everyone, it's Tamara here for WonderingWabbit, and this week I'll be doing a card making tutorial using Penelope and Little Birdy. I'll be doing some Copic colouring first and then the card making tutorial. So let's get started with some colouring. For my front panel, I'm going to be using the Circle Celebration background stamp from MFT, and as it's a rubber backed stamp, I am going to be taking out the black rubber mat from my MISTI and then placing my cardstock directly into the MISTI and lighting up the background stamp directly onto it. So I've grabbed my anti-static powder and just will spread a bit of that around where I'll be making the impression, making sure I do have a little bit of glue on the inside of my MISTI to hold that panel in place. So when I do stamp it and I have to do it again, it will remain in the same place and stamp again. So I'm using my Versamark watermark ink and giving it a good press down to make sure I get a good impression. And then I'll do a second coat just to make sure that we have a good impression of those circles on the front for the white heat embossing powder to stick to. So give that a good press down and get all that ink onto your cardstock. I've grabbed out my folded sheet of white printer paper and my stupendous white embossing powder. Just going to sprinkle that all over the front of the panel. And you'll see I'm now in a much windier location, so I will have to remember to close my door. I also then forgot, after cleaning up all the mess of that powder, I forgot to actually record me heat embossing that panel. I've now cut it out with a rectangle die, and I'm wanting to cut a circle opening for where our scene will sit in that front panel. So I've grabbed a stitch circle and just lining that up and taping that down so I can take that to my cutting machine. So this is a panel with our circle cut out. Now for the background panel, I was just going to use Squeeze Lemonade on the background and just have the one color just fading into white, but I will grab Wild Honey and add that to the bottom just to add a little bit of extra color and interest to this blended panel. So I've just grabbed out my domed sponges again and just going to work between these two colors, blending up into the white. So keep working until we're happy with our blend. Now for an extra bit of interest, I've grabbed my magnetic station and just going to secure down the tiny Cloud Stencil, and just using some Lawn Fawn white pigment ink, I'm just going to add some clouds in the background. I've just got a small applicator brush from Pink Fresh, and I'm just kind of dabbing on to get a soft cloud look to the background panel. So I just keep working until I've got a good amount of ink on those clouds. It's really subtle, but it's just a really sweet look to that blended panel. Now I thought it'd be quite cute to have the cow and bird standing in front of a white fence like they're on a farm. So I have die cut out 2 of the garden gate dies from MFT. And I've also grabbed out this Sweet Nothing sentiment set to put my sentiment on. So I'm just going to be stamping my Versa Fine Onyx Black ink on white cardstock. So I'll put that down once, and as you know, I like to give it 2 goes just to make sure you get a really nice impression. Now once that's dry, I've just grabbed out one of my stitch dies from one of my mini slimline die sets from MFT, and I'm just going to tape that down. And because I need to make it a little bit shorter, I'm going to do some partial die cutting. So I'll get that taped down just to hold that in place, and we'll bring over the die cutting machine and I'll show you how to alter the size of this die. So we just run it through once, and then we just want to lift that off and place the die down just to the end of where the sentiment is, so you're leaving half of it hanging off to where you've cut to the left, and we're just going to cut that right section of the sentiment so it matches in. So we'll just run that through the die cutting machine just on that end, and then you've got the perfect size sentiment. Now that our background panel is dry, I just want to line it up with where I need to trim it down to go behind our front panel. So I'm just working out exactly how much I'll need to trim off. So I'll grab my tonic trimmer, guillotine trimmer, and just get that cut down to size. So we'll just work on putting our fence or our fence on now. And I'm just going to line that up roughly where I'm wanting that to sit on our background panel. And we'll just adhere that with our glue. I'm just going to put it straight onto the background panel. So just line that up with the bottom, making sure that it's straight, and work out, because we need to join those two fences together. And we'll add the second fence on. So just make sure you've got that in the right spot before you secure the second one. And we'll get that second one stuck down. So just put a small amount of glue on all the sections. Line that up with your one that you've already placed down. And we'll get that secured down in place. To attach the front frame, we're just wanting to put a bit of glue on the background panel, just right around the edges where it will attach to that frame. So just run a small bead of glue all the way around, and we'll just turn that around, and we'll get that front panel glued down in the right spot. Looks good. We'll just turn it over and make sure it's all lined up and centered. And give that a good press down and check that's right on that side. I've already pre-cut and scored a white card base for our card, and I'm just going to attach that front panel directly to it with glue, and just making sure that's all lined up. And I'll have all of the measurements for this in the description below. Now with our Penelope and Little Birdie and our sentiment, I'm just going to prop those up using some foam tape. So I'm just trimming down the sections to fit in with all the parts of the bird and also Penelope's tail. So we'll get that stuck down, and we'll just pop a couple of little ones on the horn so that they are secure as well, and just get a couple of pieces on our sentiment strip. So I'll just pop a little one in the middle as well so it's secure. I've taken off all the release paper, and just using my tweezers I'm just going to line that up just so it covers where those two fences join. So we'll just line that up as centered as possible, just taking into consideration Penelope's ears. Give that a press, and we'll just attach that sentiment to the bottom center of our card front. Just lining that up in the center. I'm eyeballing it at the moment, but I will grab my T-ruler before I give it a really good press down and just make sure that that's even on both sides, which it is. And this is the finished card for today's tutorial. Penelope and the Little Birdie are just so beautiful and so fun to color up. I'm sure you'd be able to use them for a multitude of different celebrations. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please hit the like button and leave a comment. And if you'd like to see any future videos, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.